Hi, welcome back to Mountain Gym Card Collectibles. Hope you're having a great week so far now that Friday's here. I've been watching some people ripping the 2025 2026 Topps basketball hobby and jumbo box sets online. And overall, I guess I just had maybe too big of expectations for what we were going to see. Honestly, it just seems like just another typical basketball set. And if you're looking for something that was groundbreaking in 2025, 2026 Topps basketball, I just never saw it. I know that I've talked about, how there's a lack of, like awesome case hits, like inserts, like Panini Downtown or Kabooms or even Color Blast. And so a lot of the inserts and case hits feel pretty weak, to say the least. But we can get into some comments. Unfortunately, there's no shortage of comments, both good and bad, on X. So let's take a look at them. So right here, this is a fairly fresh post. Just read it. Just opened 2025 Topps Basketball Hobby and Jumbo Hobby Boxes. Might be the worst product I've ever opened in my life at the current price points, okay? And let's see what people have to say, in regards to that statement. Here's first comment. It only takes 24 hours for the hobby community to realize they're feverishly ripping the Topps equivalent of Panini NBA hoops. Yes. And I'll be honest, I've done my fair share of, ripping open, Panini basketball products. And I was never really that impressed with the Panini products as well, NBA hoops, Chronicles, you name it. They're pretty lame in my opinion, and you're always stuck just looking for the biggest hits because the rest of the stuff, if you're trying to flip it, nobody really seems to want it. For those in the back, do not rip wax. I repeat, do not rip wax. I'd probably agree. I mean, some of the breaking of this product, I was like, oh, geez, this is horrible. I mean, it was just bad. Yeah, I opened 2 blasters and 2 hangers, and the blasters were terrible. Hangers weren't bad because I got a rookie relic card, but man, I was expecting better. Wasn't Hobby like $129 with all the bangers you can pull in it, and you say it's a bad price point? I got my hobby for 110 and I was happy with it. So, there's people on both sides of the aisle on this, I mean, there's people who are happy about this product, and then there's a lot of people who aren't happy about this product. My best hits were a couple of patches, and we have a little sad face emojis, skull and crossbones. But I thought Topps was going to fix everything that was bad in the hobby. Yeah, honestly, a lot of people did too. That's what I was thinking. I thought Topps was really going to give us a product that just torpedoed everything else out of the market. But, honestly, it's about as standardized of a generic product as you can imagine, and that's just not my opinion. You can just get into, a lot of these X-posts. You might be right, but I opened 2024 to 2025 Donruss basketball last year, and that stuff was atrocious. Score football in 23, trash. Most retail paper is garbage unless you hit a case hit. Not saying you are wrong, just saying Topps is not alone. And I would say that for the awesome cards as well. I mean, you get burned a lot when you buy Topps Chrome. When you step up to Prism, whatever. That's just the way Rippy knows. It's never been marketed as a box that will give you huge returns. It has some lottery ticket hits if you get the right players, but this is entry level for set building. Seems better than Domino's Hoops to me. But who is building sets at this point, especially basketball sets? I mean, unfortunately, I look at basketball cards the same way I look at just your base Pokemon cards. I mean, those base Pokemon cards are worth pennies. That's the way I feel about a lot of these base basketball cards. They're just, nobody cares about them. It doesn't really matter which company's showing them out either, to be quite honest. Fanatics golden rule in place here. The more they hype up extremely hard to hit one of ones and very tough autos, the worse the product is. Perfect example with this release. Yeah. I would recommend caution if you're going to buy this product too, because I've been watching people rip it open, and there is a lot of getting burned. Bros, the hobby is over. They will print to oblivion. Just PC what you want. Even that's hard enough. This is worse than the junk wax era, Sally. Thanks, Fanatics. And, the most recent card show that I went to this last weekend, that was really one of the biggest complaints I heard. There were two big complaints, is how the current age of sports cards has gone beyond the junk wax era to where it's like, we're like in the turbo junk wax era, something like that. So that was one of the biggest complaints I heard. And then what got me is a lot of the people who were selling at the sports card show were complaining that they're tired of PSA, and all the games of PSA. Everyone's looking for a new grading company. They know it's not CGC, but there's still a lot of people talking about the fact that we need a new grading company because PSA has lost their minds. I mean, they've just gone down the road of greed and take everything for themselves. So that was one of the surprising things that I noticed at my most recent card show, is the fact that people are complaining about PSA and they're complaining about the overprinting of modern cards. So anyway, this is Topps World. We're just living in it. Yeah, and we really are. I mean, we all have to bend the knee, unfortunately, to this big corporate monopoly that's really all about, themselves and, the billionaire lifestyle of Michael Rubin, unfortunately. Prism Black, baby. Bought on pre-sale and did decent for $229, two jumbos. I mean, we can look at these cards. I mean, hey, if you want to tell yourself you did a great job here, hey, that's your choice. I mean, some of these cards, like I like this Bill Russell take, and the Spud Webb take, So I can't sit there and slam all of this product. It's just when I look at some of these, like inserts, I can relate, to why people are so downtrodden on why the downtowns and kabooms, the color blasts are gone. I mean, like this auto. This auto isn't really a big standout auto, or this patch, they're not really standing out that much, in comparison to other, sets I've seen. And one of the common complaints that I've seen, when I was looking through posts on X is people are tired of how, these look like baseball cards, how this baseball card design is just like the generic across the board design, for all their sports products. And people are just, burnt out of it. But, we can look at this and, it looks like these are numbered cards, but, a high number 2025. I mean, so it's not that rare. And when I look at that, I mean, that looks, let's be honest here. I mean, Panini could maybe take Topps to court. Let's be honest here, because boy, that design looks like the Panini, Marvel design. It really does. So I can relate, Some people are satisfied, like this individual. Some people just aren't. I will keep saying this. Anyone saying Topps getting these licenses is a good thing is flat out wrong. We need competition. We need separate looking cards to collect. The same design across all sports is an L. Topps is ass at making most cards. They just have name recognition. And I basically said the same thing. I have been shouting that out like the boy who cried wolf. You know what I mean? If you've watched my channel, I've looked at other, Topps basketball cards that they plan on releasing. And overall, it's just such a disappointment. I bought a Fanatics exclusive blaster, just one, hoping they are different for any unforeseen reason. And this is a great example of just another card that really just does not stand out. I got a blaster. We have this VJ Edgecomb Hardwood Stars. Honestly, it looks boring. Man, Cold Streak seems like... No offense, but did you think it would be any better than Panini? It's all about money for these companies, not wowing their customers. Yeah, and that's just it. If this was Panini NBA Hoops, I would feel just as downtrodden about that product as well. So many of Panini's basketball products have just been big disappointments. When had expected any better from you on this one, Sky? Top sucks. Boycott till they start putting what's in the box on the box like Panini does. Well, I don't know if Panini's that great at doing that either, let's be honest. It's garbage. Oh, the prices are completely insane for the product. I can't open it as I don't even like the cards. Yeah, and honestly, when I look at this set, to me, this should be like a junk wax era set, that you don't spend much money on, buy a pack for a couple bucks, buy a box, maybe you got $20, $30 into it, it's not worth it. Anyone who thinks this product is going to have a crazy return value is dumb. This product is just supposed to be something to rip for fun. And, these are a lot of recent comments too. That one's from 33 minutes ago, so people are really, I guess, kind of wanting to, add to the burn. And then, we may as well get into some of the comments on this, here's another one from Skyby. Cooper Flag, Topps, Ricky Autos are finally being listed for sale. What do we think of this design? And, when I look at this design, they could do a lot better, to say the least. It's not a standout design. It's definitely not anything that, I'd be shouting from the rooftops about, hey, this design is incredible. To be clear, that's an insert autograph, not the true Ricky Auto. All right. That's wild considering my order shipped yesterday and said it won't be here till late Friday. RC logo is terrible. And, that's been something I've noticed that is a constant complaint about this product, is how bad the RC logo looks on, these Topps products. And, you look at that thing, it really does just stink, It's about as generic as you can get for an RC logo. Honestly, it looks to me like a logo from an unlicensed product, if you have a licensed product, roll out, like a good Shield logo, something. It sucks. This is seriously awful. Clouds, yeah, I kind of thought that too. It's not the best design. Looks effing stupid. I'm in for 100 of them. They look stupid. Pretty awful all around. Sticker auto sucks. Rookie Shield is horrid. Mavs logo in the most random spot. Does Topps even try, or do they just put stuff out as fast as possible and charge ridiculous prices? Well, I think you laid it out perfectly. That is exactly what Topps and Fanatics does. Remember, all you have to do is look at CEO Michael Rubin. And look at how the guy lives his life. Do you really think he cares about collectors? He's a clothes guy, man. He's a billionaire. All he looks at is cards as another way that you can donate to his billionaire lifestyle. And that's just the way life is. It's ugly and it's insane as always how much these are going for out of the gate. Yeah, speculation is everything in the sports card world, kind of like buying stocks, I mean, you can have like an ironclad player, I've got like a Whitey Ford auto I'm trying to sell, and, I'm asking some cash on it, I mean, but it's not like people are jumping into it like they would like possibly a Cooper Flag auto, but that's just the way sports cards are. I hope this isn't real because if it is, sheesh. I guess they're saving the good design efforts for Topps Chrome. Someone at Topps needs to familiarize themselves with the old adage, if it's worth doing, it's worth doing great. Yeah. Well, I hope that they are doing a better design effort with Topps Chrome because, this doesn't look like much of an effort at all. It looks like a generic product. Looks terrible. Looks like we are going to miss Panini. I don't know about that either. I've said before, for basketball, I've always liked Upper Deck products. I do like the Panini inserts, for basketball. But overall, I mean, a lot of the Panini basketball products were pretty atrocious as well. Thumbnail photos and stickers, 0 for 2 on the card. Yeah. Trash. Topps is good at niche cards, Disney, SpongeBob, etc. But sports cards, good grief. Yeah, I mean, and they do charge a lot for those niche cards. They really do. The Labubu cards, I mean, out the gate weren't too bad, but the secondary market, but even just out the gate, it seemed like, $50-$60 is quite a bit for just a few cards. Trash, and the RC stamp is god awful. Yeah, I mean, hopefully Topps gets the message about that RC logo that it's time to, get rid of that horrid looking thing. By no means is this a good looking card, but it will sell like hotcakes. Yeah, I mean, it is an insert auto. So I don't know if it will or not. I mean, I've seen some other just really atrociously designed inserts as well. That's a negative for me, Ghost Rider. Oof, that's ugly. Topps design needs to be fired. Well, I tend to believe they're using like Tesla bots or like AI bots to design their cards. In my opinion, I highly doubt that they'd want to spend the money on like an awesome artist. Every now and then, I think that they do, but for the most part, I mean, it's as generic of a product as it gets. Is this a trading card or his LinkedIn profile? Not a fan at all, obviously. That's the best they could come up with. Gross. Not a fan. Looks like he died and went to heaven. Oh, stickers. Everyone loves sticker autos. And there's so much of this negative stuff on this, I'll stop after this because it just gets to be a wash, rinse, and repeat. But I'll read this last one. Boring. Generic sky. Square picture with a blue circle around his head. Then some stock gray basketballs. Oh, let me put 2 X's by his arm to make it look different. Even the RC logo looks whack. Hard pass. Yep, I mean, let's just take a look at this card, one last time here. I mean, a closer look at it. I mean, yeah, it's just... It doesn't really feel like a basketball product, to be quite honest. It feels like a non-sports card, of like someone in a movie or something, like an actor or something. I don't know. I mean, contemporary marks. I mean, that's a really generic font. Yeah, we have the Mavericks logo here in a square. We have the circle behind his head, kind of like a halo. The 2 X's, yeah, and then the basketball, and of course the generic rookie card logo, which I mean that should be like burnt off of these cards or something. I don't know. The sticker, of course, I don't know why they couldn't even push for a hard signing, other than letting the players always get the easy route, in my opinion, just send them some sticker sheets, cross your fingers, it's actually them signing, it is what it is, top certified autograph issue. Well, and then, the Cooper Flag Dallas Mavericks, to me, they really need to, make that Cooper Flag name much bigger, I mean, Why is it the same size as Dallas Mavericks? I mean, this guy is supposed to be, the big superstar of the year, But yet they roll out this card that just makes people want to, go to sleep. How do you feel about, this new Topps 2025, 2026 Topps basketball rollout? Yeah, it's not the Topps Chrome, but honestly, do you think the Topps Chrome is going to be like 1,000% better? I don't. From the design I've seen, you're more than likely just going to get, Topps Chrome in this form. Sadly enough, hopefully they make some design changes, but for the most part, I'm guessing that the 2025, 2026, Topps NBA basketball Chrome will definitely be kind of a wash, rinse, and repeat. Unfortunately, hopefully, Topps will take it upon themselves to really, maybe hire some awesome artists that can release some groundbreaking designs. But then again, we know how the Topps monopoly works. I mean, I just wish that we could get a company that really wants to change the status quo, if you know what I mean. Anyway, I'd like to thank all my subscribers, and if you're a viewer, thanks for watching. I really appreciate it. And if you haven't subscribed as a viewer, I can't say it enough. Please subscribe so I can continue to improve this channel. Anyway, I hope you have a great weekend. I'm out of here. Bye.